Good day, everyone. Our lesson for today is to understand, describe, and interpret graphs of polynomial functions. But before that, don't forget to subscribe and share this video to your classmates and friends, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Also, you can find different subjects in this YouTube channel. Just select the playlist section. And finally, please don't skip the ads in this video. Thanks! And now let's proceed to our main topic for today, which is all about understand, describe, and interpret graphs of polynomial functions. To do this, we need to review first the remainder and the factor theorem. So, in my previous video, I already discussed about remainder and factor theorem. But for the sake of the discussion about this polynomial function, so let us first um, have some examples of remainder and factor theorem. So, use synthetic substitution to evaluate polynomial for a given value. So, this one is a polynomial function. So we have p of x equals x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4. For x equals negative 3. So write the coefficient of the dividend. Use 0 for the coefficient of x squared. Use a x equals negative 3. So paano, saan nanggaling yung x um, equals negative 3. Actually, that is x plus 2. No? X plus 2. So, ang ano natin dito, ang task natin is, i-divide natin si x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4 kay x plus 2. X plus 3, I'm sorry. So, x plus 3. So, para makuha yan, so ang gagawin natin, ililipat or ito-transpose natin si 3 at naging negative 3 siya. Or simply get the addition property of equality. Now, after natin magawa yan, so this will become negative 3 na, pwede na nating i-divide. So, ito yung na-discuss ko before na form ng pagdi-divide ng polynomial function using synthetic division. So we have negative 3, and then this one, kukunin natin, this is 1, then 3. Then since ang ating polynomial ay cube squared, so ang next niya is x dapat, pero wala siyang x, so we will put 0, and then 4. Okay? Then after that, if we bring down natin si 1, then, multiply natin siya kay negative 3. So, that's equal to negative 3. Yung answer natin, itatapat natin kay next number, which is 3. So, 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 times negative 3 is 0. And then, 0 is the answer. 0 times negative 3 is 0. So, bring down 4. 4 is the remainder now. Okay? So, since 4 is the remainder, therefore, p negative 3 is equal to 4. To check, substitute negative 3 for x in p of x, and that is equal to x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4. So, substitute natin siya, negative 3, that is equal to negative 3 cubed. Dito ko galing yan, ha? So, dito sa, ayan. Dito ko galing yan. So, yung x, papalitan mo ng negative 3. Ito yan. Para makita natin kung tama ba yung remainder natin. So, we have negative 3 cubed plus 3, quantity negative 3 squared plus 4. Negative 3 cubed is equal to negative 27 plus positive 27, that's equal to 0 pag pinag-add mo, plus 4. So, 4 na lang matitira. Therefore, our remainder, using this one, and by checking, so it's correct, no? So, that is remainder theorem. Now, for the factor theorem, so halimbawa, x cubed plus 4x squared minus 15x minus 18 divided by x minus 3. So again, for x minus 3, ang gagawin natin, kailangan natin munang tawag dito, ilipat si negative 3. So x minus 3 equals 0. and then using addition property of equality, magiging positive 3 siya. So therefore, x is equal to 3. Or in short, x minus 3 equals 0. And then nililipat mo si 3, magiging positive 3 siya. Okay? That's why positive 3 nandito natin. For x cubed, the numerical coefficient is 1. For x squared, the 4, negative 15x is negative 15 and negative 18. In this portion, wala tayong problema sa variable kasi kompleto. 3, 2, 1. Okay? So, first thing to do, using synthetic division, we have 1, then 7, 6, and then 0. Okay, so we have one factor now, that is x minus 3. So now let's have the second factor. Since the remainder is 0, so we have x minus 3 is a factor of x cubed plus 4x squared minus 15x minus 18. So this allows us to find the remaining factors of the polynomial by factoring the depressed polynomial. Yung depressed polynomial, ito yan. So this will become x squared, pag in-interpret natin, x squared plus 7x plus 6. Okay? So, ito yan. Then, pwede natin i-factor out yung x squared plus 7x plus 6. So, that is x plus 6 times x plus 1. To check, pwede mo siyang i-check by doing a FOIL method kung tama, kung ito yung makukuha mong answer. So, x times x is x squared, 6 times x is 6x, 1 times x is 1x, so 6 plus 1 is 7x, 6 times 1 is 6. So, that's correct. So, therefore, the factors, that's why we call it factor theorem, of x squared, x cubed plus 4x squared minus 15x minus 18 are x minus 3, the first factor, and the second and third factor is x plus 6 and x plus 1. So we're done with the review about the factor theorem and remainder theorem. Now let's have the graphing. In graphing functions, x and y intercepts are important. These are points which intersect the coordinates axis. How do we determine the intercepts of a graph? See the example below. Find the intercepts of the graph of y equals x cubed plus 6x squared plus 3x minus 10. So, nakikita natin kompleto ang ating mga ang ating mga literal coefficient or leading coefficient kasi or yung mga variables natin kasi we have 3, 2, and 1 as the exponent. To determine the x-intercepts, let us set y equals 0. So it should be easy for us to use the factor form, which is y equals, ayan. So ano yung muna daw natin, gawin muna natin, i-factor muna natin. So using factor theorem, if factor out muna natin si x cubed plus 6x squared plus 3x minus 10. So you can solve it on your own kung paano ba ito i-factor out using the same process na ginawa ko dun sa discussion natin. So, yung answer niya is x plus 5, x plus 2, and x minus 1. Then, after that, yung y gawin natin 0. So, naging ganito yung itsura niya. Okay? After that, equate each factor to 0. So, yung x plus 5 is equal to 0. Then, ililipat mo si 5, magiging negative 5. That's why x equals negative 5. The second factor is x plus 2 equals 0. So, ililipat ko si 2, magiging negative 2. And finally, x minus 1 is equal to 0. Ililipat ko siya, so magiging x equals 1. So, we have these factors now. So, the x-intercepts are negative 5, negative 2, and 1. And with this graph that will pass through. So, since the x-intercept is negative 5, negative 2, and 1, let us put now that the points negative 5, 0, negative 2, 0, and 1, 0. So, saan nanggaling yung 0? So, actually, kanina pa sinabi natin that we let we set that y is equal to 0. That's why we put now zeros here, no? By using the x-intercepts, and after the x-intercepts, we have the 0 for the y-intercepts. Okay, which is obviously na yung mga points ay nasa x-axis. No? Okay, now, in finding the y-intercept, it's simply set x equals 0. So, kung gagawin natin 0 naman ngayon si x, so 0, 0, 0, so that will become y equals 0 plus 5, and 0 plus 2, and 0 minus 1. And that is 5 plus 2, I'm sorry, 5 times 2 is 10, times 1 is negative 10. Therefore, the y-intercept is negative 10, wherein x is equal to 0. So the point now is, syempre mauna yung si x, 0 and negative 10. So the y-intercept is negative 10. Thus the graph will also pass. So dadaan din siya kay 0 and negative 10. Okay, so nakikita ko na siya na nasa baba siya. Kasi that is 0 and negative 10. So meron na tayong ilang points? 4. So sa una, negative 5, 0, negative 2, 0, and 1, 0. So please remember the process. And then after that, kinuha natin si y-intercept by simply setting x equals 0. So the fourth point is 0 and negative 10. Getting the intercept is not enough to determine the sketch of the graph. So, we need to consider the use of the table of values to obtain the other points. So, kasi kulang pa yung mga points natin. So, we have only 4 points now. Now, let us use the example above, okay, which is y equals x plus 5, x plus 2, and x minus 1 as the factors of our given polynomials. To get the values of y, substitute the assigned values of x below. For easy reference, list down the answers in order pairs. So, okay. So, in this portion naman, tayo na yung naglagay dito ng number, no? So, we have negative 4, negative 1, and 0, no? Ngayon, isa-substitute natin sila using this equation. So, kunyari, we look for y if x is negative 4. So, papalitan lang natin ng negative 4 yung x. If we look for y if the x is negative 1, so papalitan lang natin ng negative 1 yung x. And if it is 0, papalitan natin ng 0 yung mga x. So, if x equals negative 4, then that is negative 4 plus 5, negative 4 plus 2, and negative 4 minus 1. This one, negative 4 plus 5, they don't have the same sign, so the answer is 1 because we need to subtract them. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2 because 4 is bigger than 2 and 4 is negative. Negative 4 and negative 1, they have the same sign. In the rule of addition, add the integers and copy the sign. So we have 4 plus 1, 5, copy the sign, negative. Then negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10 times 1 is positive 10. So y equals 10. For x equals negative 1, so we have x plus 1 and x plus 2 times x minus 1. Substitute negative 1 to x, so we have negative 1 plus 5, negative 1 plus 2, and negative 1, negative 1. So we have negative 1 plus 5 is positive 4, negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1, and negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. So we have 4 times 1, 4. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And finally, actually, for x equals 0, nakuha na natin ito. Okay, nakuha na natin kanina yan, and the answer is negative 10, if I'm not mistaken. So, other points of the graph of the polynomial is negative 4, 10, negative 1, negative 8. So, we don't need to use this one kasi it's already given in the previous points. In graphing polynomial function, you may consider the use of leading coefficient test. This test will help you to determine the end behaviors, left hand and right hand, of the graph of polynomial functions. Make sure to write the polynomial function in standard form. Otherwise, LCT will be incorrect, and most importantly, the graph. types of graph of polynomial function using the leading coefficient test. By the way, balikan natin yung mga points natin. So, meron na tayong points, no? Na negative 5, 0, negative 2, 0, 1, 0, 0, negative 10, then negative 4, 10, negative 1, negative 8, 0, negative 10. Okay, let's first identify the types of function. Y is equal to 2x cubed plus 6x squared plus 7x minus 1. The leading coefficient is n greater than 0. Okay? Yung n, yung ating n is greater than 0. So it is also an odd degree where n is 3. Okay? I repeat, n is greater than 0. Mas mataas sa 0 yung n. This one, no? Ito yung tinutukoy na n. And then n is 3. And behaviors of the graph falls this to the left and rises to the right. Falls to the left and rises to the right. Because n is 3, it is an odd. Okay? Kapag greater than, yung n is greater than 0, and it is an odd degree, therefore, yung rule o yung behavior ng graph is falls to the left and rises to the right. Okay? Now, negative 2 x squared plus 6x squared plus 7x minus 1. The leading coefficient is n less than 0. That is kasi negative siya. Okay? Ay, by the way, here, yung n natin pala is 2. I'm sorry. Yung n na tinutukoy naman dito is yung degree. No? Okay. So, dito, n is less than 0. Odd degree, n is 3. So, rises to the left and falls to the right siya. Okay, ganun siya. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay? N is less than 0. Pag less than, to the left yung taas niya, then pababa. Kapag greater than yung n, sa left falls, sa right yung up. Then another, 2x raised to 4 plus 6x cubed plus 7x minus 1. The leading coefficient is n greater than 0. So, mas mataas siya sa 0. So, alam naman natin na kapag mas mataas sa 0, okay. So, even degree, n is 4. So, so the behavior of the graph is rises to both direction. Sketch the graph. So, kapag daw even degree, at the same time, n is greater than 0, pag ganito yung graph niya. Okay? So, parehong rises to both direction. And finally, n is less than 0. Even degree, so falls both direction. Okay, even degree falls both direction, pababa. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. So, pababa. So, balikan natin. If n is greater than 0, odd degree, n is 3. So, falls to the left, then rises to the right. Kapag naman n is less than 0, odd degree, rises to the left, falls to the right. Okay? Kapag naman n is greater than 0, but even, both directions rises. And kapag naman n less than 0, even degree, both directions falls. Now, proceed tayo. Using y equals x cubed plus 6x squared plus 3x minus 10, let us identify the leading coefficient, degree, and the behavior of the graph. The leading coefficient is 1. 1. And that is greater than 0. And the degree is 3, which is odd. For the end behaviors of the graph, it falls it falls to the left and rises to the right. Okay, so pag ganito yung graph niya, falls to the left and rises to the right. Okay, so the first step, construct a Cartesian coordinate plane or the x and y plane. And then after that, plot the points in the coordinate. Ito yung mga points na na-solve natin kanina. If you still remember them, the negative 5, 0, negative 2, 0, negative 1, 0, if I'm not mistaken. Ano pa ba? We have also 0 and negative 10. We have negative 4, 10, and negative 1, negative 8. So, ang gagawin niyan natin is kailangan ang ating tawag dito, ang ating graph is sa baba, starting sa baba, using yung pinakita kong sample kanina, dito, and then dito, tignan natin kung tama, and then dito, yan. Kasi sabi dito, ayan, it falls to the left and rises to the right, since n is greater than 0 and the degree is odd. Let's see. Ayan. So, ganyan yung kanyang graph, no? So, connect the points to draw the graph. Okay? So, pwede nyo balikan yung video to see yung 4 na sinabi ko na form para malaman nyo kung ano yung itsura or yung behavior ng graph natin. Additional information, turning points of a graph occurs when the function changes from decreasing to increasing or vice versa. The formula in determining the number of turning points of the graph of a polynomial function is n minus 1, where n is the degree. In the given example, the degree of the polynomial function is 3. Thus, the number of turning points is 3 minus 1, which is equal to 2. So that's all about for our lesson, understand, describe, and interpret graphs of a polynomial functions. So with that, thank you very much for your listening.